Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my Creative Playground. Tonight I'm going to show you how to put together do the folds and the cutting for this really cool center pop-up fold card. This is one that I made with the Whimsical Christmas set. This is one that I made for Thanksgiving that I really like. So, I'm going to show you how to do those folds. And what I'm doing is I'm using two different colors so that you can see how this goes together. So for the front of the card, this card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's a standard card. It's just very thick, so you probably need to put it in a little bit larger envelope. And so this is 4 3/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. And that is going to make a tab which will allow us to put our two pieces together. So we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. And what I like about the cutter is it has rulers on both sides. So we're going to score that at 1/2 inch, and then we're going to set those aside because we don't need those until the end. Okay, so now we have a piece of 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, which is our normal card front size, and we're going to score this at 4 1/4. But we're going to score it, but we're not going to actually fold it. And I will show you why in a second. So there we go. So you can see that mark there. Okay, so now what we need is we need our bone folder. We need a pencil with a good eraser, and we need a ruler. And what we're going to do is this has a border, a 1 1/2 inch border all the way around it. So we're going to draw that out, and then we're going to cut and score this center section to make that pop-up piece. Okay? So we're going to lay this out, and we want to mark at 1 1/2 inches and 1 1/2 inches from each corner. So from this corner, it's 7 inches because this is 8 1/2, so minus 1 1/2 is 7. And then we're going to go down and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to mark at 5 1/2. Okay, 1 1/2, 5 1/2 minus 1 1/2 is 4 inches. So we're going to be at 4 inches. Sorry. My brain went on vacation there for a minute. So we're going to score at 7, and we're going to score at 1 1/2. And one more side to do. 4 inches and 1 1/2. Okay, so now what we're going to do is draw some very light lines. And this one is not in the right place. It's scored at 1, not at 1 1/2. Okay, so let me move that. Okay, we're going to draw some light lines. Okay. Oops. Didn't follow my ruler there. Okay, that won't matter because that's off on this side. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to cut from here to here and here to here to make that piece, to make those cuts, and then we're going to score the centerpiece to make that part pop out. So I'm going to pull my cutter back. And I'm going to push my scoring blade out of the way, and I'm going to go in at 1 1/2 inches. And I'm going to start cutting. So what's really nice about this cutter is these blades have these little tick marks on them. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go up to that score line. And then I'm going to turn this and do the same thing again on the other side. So I'm going to go start down here and then go up to that scored line. And then if you need to, you can also use your scissors to cut just a little bit further if you're worried about going too far on that. Okay, this one I need to cut a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So there is our piece all measured out. And now we're going to do some scoring. So we want to move the cutting blade out of the way. And the first thing we're going to do is line this up at 1.5. And we're going to score from this line down to this line. So again, just use that mark. Okay. And I'm going to then go into 2 7/8 and score. Okay, we already have the 4 1/4 line, and then I'm going to go to 5 5/8 and score. Okay, and then we're going to score at our 7-inch score mark there, or at our 7-inch line, sorry. Okay, and again, we're only going from that center up to that other line. Okay, so there we go. So there is our scoring is all done. We're almost ready to put this all together. So I'm just going to erase these lines now. And you'll be covering these up with designer paper too. So I'm not too worried about it if you don't get them completely erased. Or you can do them on the back side. You know, you can flip this over and use the other side as well. So, but what I really like about these pencils is these are the Staples No. 2 pencils. And they don't scratch the paper. They don't take color off of the paper. You can't tell once you've erased it. So, okay, so now we're going to have fun and we're going to do some folding. So our card, the center of our card is going to come up. And same thing here. We're going to have the center come up. Okay, and then we're going to fold this part down and then fold there. Okay, and that center should line up here. And then same thing here. We're going to fold down and fold here. And there we go. We've got one very large C. We can use our bone folder. Okay, and we want to make sure we get all these creases scored really, really good. Okay, so there we go. So there is the center of our card. So now we're going to go back to our front and our back piece, and I'm going to fold those over, and again, I'm going to crease those really good, and I'm just going to keep working them a little bit to get that tab kind of loose, and do the same thing with this one. Now for these, you want to use either the Seal adhesive, which is the really, really strong tape. It's a dark blue tape. I've got that here. Or you want to use Terran tape to hold this card together. So now what we're going to do is, this is the inside of the card. So that's going to pop out. And this will be the front of the card. So we're going to line that up here. And then this will be the back side of the card. So we'll line that up. So we're going to put some tape on here, and I'm using the Seal Plus, which is really strong. It's equivalent to the Terran tape. And then we're going to line this up like so. And you want to be just underneath that score line so that you can fold that in. There we go. Okay, and when we fold this whole thing together, so now let's do this back side. So in this one, I'll use the Terran tape just to show you. So the Terran tape and the Seal Plus are really nice. They're very, very strong tapes. Pull that. Okay. And it's very easy to peel. Okay, and then the same thing. We're just going to line this up just under that score line. Oops. A little bit off there. Okay, there we go. Like that. So that's the back side of your card. Now, when I did my cards, I made all the colors the same, but I just wanted to show you kind of where these lines were. So I used 2 different colors. So there we go. So there is our card base. And now what you're going to do is, so this is a regular size card. It's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So you're going to cut designer paper to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And you're going to cut designer paper for this side and this side of that C. And then actually when you fold this, this should fold down. So it's like this. Okay. And so you're going to cut your designer paper for these 2 sides, and you're going to make sure that you put the 2 right sides together. And then you're going to measure down. Yeah, you're going to measure down 1 1/4 inches and then draw this line and cut your C out. So you're going to have a little bit here. So you're going to have some of your card base showing here. You know, you're going to have that little margin, okay? And the instructions are included with this. So enjoy, and I hope you have fun decorating this card. So it looks like this, and it all folds up like that. And it will fit in the regular envelope, but it is very thick, so I would put it in an envelope that's just a little bit larger. So thanks for stopping by today. Have fun decorating your cards and send me pictures. Take care.